Hi, let's talk about powers and exponents today. So take a look at the word power. Power just means repeated multiplication. So it's when we would take 2 to the third power and write it out as 2 times 2 times 2. That's all that means. The base, remember, is that really big number. Okay, it's also the factor. The exponent is a small number. It tells us how many times to write the factor. And then we're going to review some formulas. Remember, for area, we're going to do length times width. For volume, it would just be length times width times height. Okay, let's look at example 1 using exponents. So we're going to write the product using an exponent. So all we have to do is look at how many times they wrote the factor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I write 7 as the base to the 5th power. So the base is 7 and it's used as a factor 5 times. Take a look at B. This time, notice how they're using the parentheses. Whatever inside the parentheses is our base. So I write 4/10 as our base, and since they wrote it twice, I write it to the 2nd power. Look at C, and notice how they wrote the letter A 4 times. So A is our base, and 4 is our exponent. And then look at letter D. R is the factor that they're writing, and they wrote R 6 times, so it's R to the 6th power. Take a look at the checkpoint. So we're just supposed to write the product using an exponent. So I see that they wrote 12 4 times, so it's 12 to the 4th power. Or I see that they wrote 2/10 7 times, so 2/10, and notice how I put it in parentheses, to the 7th power. And then they wrote here X 5 times, so it's X to the 5th power. And here they wrote Y 3 times, so it's Y to the 3rd power. Now there's some vocabulary I want you to add, so add these notes. At any time we say to the 2nd power, I would also use the word squared, so I could write this as 4/10 squared. Or anytime we use the power of 3 with the Y, that would be cubed, so I could say Y cubed. Okay, let's look at example 2, evaluating powers with variables. So they want us to evaluate the expression x cubed when x equals 4/10. Now, I'm just going to plug in the 4/10 for x. So this is 4/10 to the 3rd power. So remember, use the parentheses and write it out. 0.4 times 0.4 times 0.4. Well, let's do the first 0.4 times 0.4. So I know 4 times 4 is 16, but don't forget to move that decimal point 2 places back. So this is 0.16 or 1600ths times 4/10. And now I showed you my work up here. Okay, 0.16 times 0.4. Well, 16 times 4 is 64, but I see 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal. So I have to move the decimal point back 3 places. So it's 0.064. So that's my final answer, 0.064, or 64 thousandths. Okay, for area, remember area of a square or a rectangle or a quadrilateral would be base times height here. So with a square, the base and the height are the exact same value. So that's why they call it side squared, so side to the 2nd power. For a cube, remember all the edges are exactly the same. So length times width times height is just S times S times S, or S to the 3rd power. All right, so take a look at example 3. It says room size. So you are planning to put wall-to-wall carpeting in your room. To do this, you need to find the area of the square-shaped floor. So I would draw a square and I would label it. They told me that the one edge is 11 feet and the other edge is 11 feet. Of course, that's what makes it a square. They're all the same. So to get the area, I would just do 11 times 11, which is 121. Now, I want you guys in honors to label your answer. This is not just 121, it's 121 square feet. Okay, so the checkpoint, evaluate the expression when n equals 2. So they give us n squared. So I just plug a 2 in here, so 2 to the 2nd power is 4. Look at number 6, it's n cubed. So I plug in the 2, 2 to the 3rd power means 2 times 2 times 2, and that would give me 8. Okay, take a look at number 7. n to the 4th power. So 2 to the 4th power would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and the last two are 4, so 4 times 4 would give me 16. And then number 8, n to the 5th power. Well, 2 to the 5th power would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and of course that's 32 when you multiply that out. Now, look at the last two examples. It says, find the volume of a cube. Well, remember, volume is the edge to the 3rd power. So the volume would be 2 to the 3rd power. In this case, it would be 2 times 2 times 2, which we know is 8, but don't forget to label it. This means 8 meters to the 3rd power. Okay, and for number 10, the volume, if the edge is 3 feet, well, I do 3 to the 3rd power. 3 times 3 times 3 gives me 27, and don't forget to label it. It would be feet to the 3rd power.